Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. Tonight I'm going to talk about public demonstrations. The reason I'm doing that is obviously at some point in your development, especially if you belong to a church group, you may well be expected or asked to do a public demonstration. Now, normally, if you're quite new, that will be like a fledgling evening, something like that, where they ask you to do a small demonstration just to get some experience and experience the atmosphere. That's something that's well worth doing. The atmosphere itself can be very, very exciting, very uplifting, and it's something well worth experiencing. But obviously, for you, you're quite new, it can be very nerve-wracking too. And the first thing that will come into your head is, what if I don't get anything? Or if I do get anything, what if I get it wrong? So you've put yourself on the slippery slope of failure straight away. Don't even go there. You should be at the point, what I call the point of trust. Spirit, do the work. You are the medium. You are the in-between. Trust Spirit will be there. Just go, don't think about it. Stand there and allow that energy of Spirit to work through you. I know it's easier said than done, and anybody who says they don't have that element of nerve now and again is probably telling a fib, but it's all down to that trust factor. Spirit will be there. They're well aware of what you're going to be doing on that evening. They are well aware of what is expected, and they will be right next to you. They will be there ready to work with you. So don't get yourself all worked up. The best hint, I guess, that I can give you, and again, it's easier said than done, is to just don't let it bounce around in your mind. Just blank that out. Okay, sit through for a few minutes before you go out there and do your demonstration. Just put yourself at ease, put yourself at peace. Know they are there. I always give thanks before. I always say thank you for working with me, for coming along with me and being there for me. I always give that thanks first. And then obviously when I'm finished, I give thanks again. They work very, very hard. It is not easy. That mergence of energy with self, with you, is not an easy task. So I always give thanks for all the effort that they put in as well. So there you are, your first evening. Public demonstration is different to a church demonstration. Obviously, there's a sequence of events in a church demonstration. You have your addresses, you have your prayers, you have maybe a talk from the chairperson. There's all sorts of things, but you will be told what sequence it will run in. They may well ask you, like I just said, to give a short address. Don't panic about that. Don't worry about that. Pick a subject, think of something spiritual that you could talk about, maybe something you've got a little bit of knowledge on, that you've learned about, you've read about, and just give that. Give some information to the audience, the congregation, if you like, depending where you are, and just give a brief talk. One thing I've always found is if that atmosphere is a little flat, if you feel it's a little flat, then you are the person to lift that atmosphere. And it can be done quite easily. A sense of humour goes down really well. It will lift that room. Okay, it will help you. Don't get yourself flattened, if you like, by the atmosphere within that room. You are working with spirit. You are working with a high vibration. Stay in that vibration. You've sat for a while before you've decided to go up and demonstrate. you are within that vibration, and hold it and keep it. Do not allow the room to bring you down. And that is something you will learn over time. So that sense of humour, that smile, that happiness that you put out there will lift that room and really, really help you. So when you start your demonstration, like I said, do not panic, spirit are there. Just allow them to draw close. You're not being judged. If this is a fledgling evening, they are not judging you. They totally understand the nerves that you're suffering with. They understand that you are on a learning curve, and they will help and support you. So don't worry about it. It's quite easy to put a scenario into your head where it all goes wrong. And like I said, that's the last thing you want to do. Just go out there. You are the medium. Spirit are doing the work, and they will. Just be at peace and at ease, and allow them to draw close and give that information. Now, it's good if you can know where you are going within that room. If you're in a church, then obviously people all sat in rows, scattered in the rows. For me personally, the first thing that happens is I will know if I'm going left or right. You will sense it. You will be pulled in that direction. And as you go in that direction, you will then sense what row, whereabouts in that area you need to go. Don't worry if you get it wrong. Just carry on and allow the energy to flow. You are learning. Don't worry. If you give a really good piece of evidence to somebody who sat on the right and you thought it was the left, don't worry, because that piece of evidence you give, they will not worry, believe me, that you went in the wrong direction. They will be overwhelmed with that lovely piece of evidence that you give. That all comes with time, and the more demonstrations that you do, then obviously the more accurate you will become with direction and person that you're going to be working with. If I do public demonstrations where normally there's tables rather than just rows of seats, then you get an idea of what table you're at. And again, don't worry if that table doesn't take the information that you are giving. It's happened a number of times in demonstrations where people don't immediately take that information that you're giving. If you struggle with a bit of information, don't keep plugging away for too long with it. Okay, ask that energy to pull back and then start working with another energy that comes in. And it happened to me a number of times where you give information to a table and they will not take it. They sit, they either drop their heads, shake their heads or whatever, or look in the opposite direction. Okay, ask the energy just to wait. Now I talk out loud when I do readings normally or demonstrations, so I'm talking to energy as I'm demonstrating, and I will say, okay, please wait for me, and then I will carry on with another energy as it comes in. And it happens where I've gone back with that energy that nobody understood. Nobody at that table understood. And I've gone back with it. And I've looked at the table and I've said, I know this is for you. Now, you can't force somebody to take that information. You've done your very best. So if nobody will take it, fine. I always apologise to the energy and say maybe another time. But it happens where I've said, I know this energy belongs to the table. I've given a description of the person again, and maybe the piece of evidence that they gave before, or maybe a little extra piece of evidence. Then all of a sudden, The people that sit there with their heads dropped start to look at you, and you know it is for them. Sometimes people can be very shy with accepting it. It may be a sudden shock to them that they just don't really know how to deal with it. You allow them to have that time. And normally, like I said, if you ask the energy just to step to one side, the people who know that message is for them, they kind of think about it. And then when you go back, either towards the end or later on, they are ready. And that's happened a number of times, and they've took that evidence. And there's been many tears. So don't punish yourself if information is not taken. There are a number of reasons for that, and it's easy to blame yourself, thinking, oh, I've got it wrong, I'm no good at this, blah, 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 blah. No. Many a time as well, at the end, I've been told of people who know who you're talking about and are in tears. They may be sat at the back and just do not feel ready to take that information. And we respect that. Like I said, we cannot make somebody speak up. But just be grateful in the knowledge that that energy has merged with you. And even if you haven't given evidence, you've given a good description of that person, a good description of personality, and a hint at that message. That person who failed to put their hand up or to stand up, whatever, in a sense, you've already given that message, because they know and they understand that their loved one is okay, is at peace. Even though they haven't taken it, they haven't acknowledged it, they walk out of that hall, that club or whatever, with the knowledge that they are okay, even though they didn't take it. They know they're okay. So don't punish yourself. Okay. What's interesting as well sometimes, especially on a really good night where the energy is flowing well and lots of messages are coming through. What's interesting about this sometimes is at the end, you do not remember an awful lot of it, because you are out there, you are working outside of self, you are merging with the energy that's around you. And that can be quite fast at times, and there are times where you will have to ask for that just to slow down, just a little for you. And don't be frightened to ask. You are working together, you are a partnership, yourself and spirit. You are giving evidence, you are giving proof. Okay? Spirit will work with you whichever way is best. That's why you're sitting for self. Sitting in the power is also known as. But that sitting for self and sitting for spirit is so important, because you learn that method of working together. And that is when it comes into practice. When you are stood there, spirit are aware of you. They know you by now. You've done all that sitting with them. They are your work partner. And you know how each other works. So that helps. That helps so much that you've done all that hard work beforehand. And spirit have also done their hard work as well, with getting to know you and understand you. So don't be too worried. I've done it myself at the end of a demonstration where somebody thanks you for a message. They even tell you about different aspects of that message. And there's lots of it you just do not remember. The number of times I've stood there and just nodded my head, that's fine, that's lovely, thank you so much, yeah, that's lovely. And I cannot remember. It's because, like I said, you are away from that room. So don't worry about that if you can't remember. It is the norm. So go for it if you're asked for a fledgling evening. Don't worry if you don't get anything, if it goes wrong, but don't allow those nerves to block if you can just sit for a while before you go out there, trust spirit. They will not let you down. They will be there for you. I wish you luck if you're about to do your first fledgling evening, your first demonstration. I wish you all the best. Have a lovely evening. Please like, please subscribe, and go over to my Patreon if you'd like to learn more. So I do guidance on there for new mediums, for developing mediums. I do one-to-ones. I only work on a one-to-one basis, and thoroughly enjoy that. And I've got students all around the world, and it's lovely. We thoroughly enjoy it. We have a circle once a month as well, and we work together. So anyway, that's it for this evening. Have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.